The strategies we use for attaining a top spot no longer require a consistently upward trajectory. Or, looking at it through the lens of three-dimensional chess, reaching the C-suite today can often occur with a knight's circuitous path as opposed to a queen's sweeping linear swiftness. For example, Sean Hinton, CEO of the Soros Economic Development Fund, reached the C-suite after studying in London to be a conductor. Later, he was also a McKinsey & Company consultant and a fellow at the Aspen Institute. In between all that, he served as Mongolia's first honorary consul general in Australia. Hinton's path to the top was decidedly non-linear, and yet this type of circuity is arguably becoming more common in business. With that in mind, let's look at several alternate paths to the top, along with their accelerators and derailers, in the hope that these options demonstrate that you can use hybrid building blocks to blaze your own way. Non-traditional paths. We have heard throughout this audiobook that there are multiple ways to reach the C-suite. The non-traditional paths that follow show that opportunities arise when executives are able to prove themselves in unusual ways. Consulting leading to C-suite. Like Hinton, Cisco's Ruba Borno landed on the executive leadership team by way of Big Three Consulting. Currently Chief of Staff to CEO Chuck Robbins, Borno earned a master's degree and Ph.D. in engineering as opposed to an MBA, and her previous role was at Boston Consulting Group. As a consultant, Borno worked with technology and media companies, including Cisco, to manage digital transformation, post-merger integration, and strategy execution, all things that are central to Cisco's business. That knowledge base, combined with her first-hand familiarity with Cisco's operations and executives, made Borno an ideal C-suite candidate for the execution-focused role of Chief of Staff. Accelerator. The consulting path to the C-suite opens up when a consultant or advisor becomes so steeped in an industry and its main players that he or she secures deep-dive exposure to the type of problem-solving and operational know-how that is instrumental to organizations. Derailer. This path is more commonly aimed at operationally focused and functional C-suite roles and may not provide the general management exposure and line leadership needed for some central C-suite positions. Mergers and acquisitions leading to C-suite. Mergers and acquisitions drive structural changes in organizations that can carve openings for new roles. For instance, when a large company acquires a startup, founding officers can be kept on to create continuity and help everyone make the most of the deal. Terry Myerson, for one, landed at Microsoft in 1997 when the software giant acquired his web software startup. Likewise, Yoki Matsuoka was Vice President of Technology at Nest in 2014 when Google acquired the company. Matsuoka later left to be CEO of a health data startup, but then she returned to Nest in 2017 as Chief Technology Officer. The rub is that post-acquisition executives are seldom brought directly into the C-suite. They may land several levels down and need additional experience before getting in line for a top job. Accelerator. In an acquisition situation, startup executives are most valuable to acquiring firms if they have institutional knowledge to share and, in the case of tech startups, technical familiarity with the product or business. Derailer. It takes time and patience to turn an acquisition into a legitimate path to the C-suite. Timing and culture differences can make onboarding a challenge. Spin-off leading to C-suite. Corporate restructurings, like spin-offs, generate leadership opportunities when a conglomerate divests part of itself to create a smaller, more focused entity. In an